And what is up, guys? It's your average gear reviewer here, back again with another banger for you. This one we are continuing our series where I'm going through every knife that I've unboxed in order, starting from the very first to the very most recent. Hopefully I'll be able to get almost caught up at some point. I still have a lot of knives to go, but this is going to be the fourth one in the series. And in this one, guys, I might have been wrong. Let's get into it. The best gear is the gear you have on. Hey guys, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. I promise I will get right into the knife that we're looking at today. If you're a returning member or if you're a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, guys. I appreciate it from the heart. This content is for you. In this video, guys, I may have to admit that I was wrong about this one. You know the series that we're going through, I think you probably do. If you're familiar with the videos, if this is your first one, you may not know. So let me just tell you, I'm going through all the knives that I've gotten, that I've unboxed so far, and this is going to be the fourth one that we're getting into. This one is going to be one that actually made my 5 least carried knives of 2023. And, I might have messed up on that. The knife that we're looking at today, guys, is the Oknife Mettle. Oh yeah, check out that bad boy. So what you're looking at is the Oknife Mettle. If you're not familiar, really quick for you, Oknife does make knives. They are made in collaboration with, or they're made by, I'm not really sure exactly how it works, but they're essentially Kaiser knives. And this one is based on, I believe it's the Kaiser XL. Just by looking at the shape of the handles, it just almost lines up perfectly, the size. So in this video, I'm going to give you a little bit of, first I'll go over the technical specs of the knife, then I'll tell you a little bit about my experience with carrying it. And yes, I did get some pocket time with this one, and I was glad that I did, guys. So let's get into that. Okay, so guys, a little bit of the particulars about the knife. The Oknife Mettle, what we're looking at, it has a 3.24 inch, they're calling that a drop point blade. It has a 4.3 inch handle, so that gives you an overall 7.5 inch knife. Let's look and see on the mat. Yep, right on the money, 7.5 inches. I don't know if you can see that down there, sorry. But it does come in right at 7.5 inches. It's weighing in at 3.89 ounces, which is not bad at all for a knife that size. Not bad at all. It does have 154 cm, good, decent tool grade steel there, but they come like with a really good sharp edge on them right out of the box. This one is a flipper tab only. You'll notice there is no thumb hole or thumb stud deployment, so you can deploy it either with the flipper tab or you can just deploy it using the button lock. Either way, works just as well. One of the only issues I've had with this one, and I've had this issue with a lot of button lock knives, and I'm just going to say that this is probably my fault. I think just my big sausage fingers, I keep it on the button for too long, and so I just end up having seat like that. It doesn't close all the way, or it'll bounce on me like that. I think it's just because I don't know how to properly deploy a button lock knife. That's all it is, probably. It does have a really good retention at the bottom, so it holds it in really well, but then once it breaks, it just flies open. So you can actually you can push button it, you could thumb switch it. Like I said, you could just use the button. This one, it does come with a really nice, fairly deep carry pocket clip, as you can see. Now this one does have aluminum handles. They're nice beveled. There's no sharp edges anywhere on them. Very, very nicely done, almost like a custom feeling handle. They are very smooth though. I will warn you about that. If you do end up getting one, or if you want to get one, this is a very smooth knife. Now it's got good ergos. It feels good in the hand. I wear an extra large size glove, so I have a little bit larger hands, but even still you can see I've got a little room left down here to grip it, and the scales with the way that they're cut out, and especially this bevel right here, it just locks into your hand very well. So it's got a really, really nice feel to it. Of course, being made by Kaiser, you know you're going to get the jimping for days back here on the back of the blade. And it does have a little bit of a swedge up here, so it'll make it a little bit easier slicing through materials. That piece will, you know, that part will want to pass through material instead of gathering material up behind it. So, you know, again with these, and I don't know if this is a common theme with Kaisers, guys, tell me in the comments below, but they don't leave you a lot of room to sharpen there. You're going to get into that, you're going to get into that plunge grind really quick. But the flipper tab does, you know, with like with most flipper tabs, it comes down and makes a really great finger stop. So you don't have to worry about your hand slipping up over onto the blade. And I will say the button lock on this, guys, it's absolute. The Kaiser really seems to be doing the button locks right. I just did an unboxing on the Brat. Got my hands on it for the first time, and the button locks, if that's the way Kaiser's doing their button locks, they're doing the best ones in the business. And I'll stick by that until I'm proven otherwise. So let me give into a little bit of my impressions of the knife, and then we'll do some size comparisons. So my impressions on the metal, I'm just going to go ahead and admit it, and I'm not too proud of a person. And let me ask you, are you guys the kind of people that you're fairly open-minded and you can admit when you're wrong, or are you one of those people that's set in your ways and you're like, that's the way it is, and I'm never going to change my mind? I've always prided myself in trying to be an open-minded person, and if new information comes along, I will change my mind. I will change my opinion when new facts or new information comes along. And so I said all that to say this, guys. I was wrong on this one. I should have got it. It should have got more pocket time right off the drop. I carried this one with me to work this weekend. It's perfect, guys. I really like it. And once I got a feel for the button lock on it, it's very nice. Very nice. I would highly recommend one of these. You can get them at Olight store, Obuy, through the Obuy app, or you can get them on Amazon. I'll leave a couple of links in the description down below as always. And guys, if you want to see any of the kind of gear that I like, or stuff that you know, I'm into, I put some links down below in the description for products that I just like, and also for channels that I'm a fan of. So you know, if you like my content, consider leaving a like down below and subscribing. But also look down there in that description, and you may find some other channels that you really like. There's some great ones down there. So let's go ahead and do a couple of size comparisons before we get out of here. Okay, guys, you already know which one's going to be first, so let me just whip it out. It's the Spyderco Para 3. As always, it's sort of our standard for comparison. It's a very familiar knife for most people, so it gives you a good idea of what you're looking at in size comparison. Another one I like to look at, of course, is the ubiquitous Benchmade Bug Out. If this one doesn't look like the ones that you've seen, I understand. It's got the crossfade scales from Flatanium on them. Those are great. I have a link down below for Flatanium. If you haven't seen these or the other scales they have for the Bug Out, check those out down below. But don't let me get off track here. You can see it's about the same size as the Bug Out. To me, it looks very similar to the size, and even the scales have that same sort of, if you can see what I'm talking about, the same sort of flowy type of handle where it flares here, tapers for your index finger, and then sort of flares and tapers again towards the end. You know, we've seen that design on tons and tons of knives, so it's nothing new. Let's look at it next to the Kaiser Brat. And the Brat's a little bit bigger, but that's a little bit larger size knife, you know. And just like this one's a bit larger than the Para 3. So, you know, the sizes are going to vary. There's the, there it is compared to the Demco 80-20.5 Tanto. And let's compare it to the knife that I just did a review on. If you guys didn't catch that one, I just did a review on the Roboto 2. Super nice little knife too. And it, like this one, falls into that EDC category very nicely. Although I will say, if you have slightly larger hands, the this type of blade, yeah, if you're going to hold it by the blade, then I would recommend you probably don't get one. But if you have larger hands, the handle on this one's a little bit bigger. And even for the smaller size, the Demco seems like it's got plenty of room for my hand. That's one of the things I love about that knife. I got a review coming up on this one too. But Don't let me get too sidetracked here, guys. Gotta keep me on task. I'm a little bit ADD. Okay, so final impressions. What do you guys think about the knife? Have you gotten your hands on one of the metals yet? Do you have a Kaiser XL? More importantly, down below, let me know, do you have a Kaiser XL and this knife? Because I don't have an XL to compare it to, just like I didn't have a Sheepdog to compare to the Roboto 2. So if you have both of those, I'd love to know what your experience is with them, what the differences are, what the similarities may be. You know, I know that these are made by Kaiser, but they're made for a different OEM, so maybe they are slightly different. I've heard there are slight differences in the action. And one thing that I did notice, I don't want to run on too long here, but one of the things I did notice is this flipper tab seems a little different between this one and the XL. So maybe using a different steel blank or something. But anyway, guys, that's about all I've got for you on this one. Again, this is one I would recommend, but these do run, I think, about $84.99 still. So not in the budget range, but it's going to fall square into that mid-range, and I think that is exactly where it would fall, just because the materials, the fit and finish, it's a decent little knife. So anyway, guys, leave me your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram over at Average Gear Review. And Average Gear Reviewer, I'm out of here. You're still here. Awesome. Listen, I was supposed to tell you something really important, and I have to tell you this. Don't forget to like the video. If you like the content, subscribe down below. Hit the subscribe button. Please, I'm stuck here until you hit the subscribe button. Please, please, I'm begging you. Please, you gotta let me out of here. Just hit the subscribe button. Did you hit it? Did you hit it's right down here. Did you hit it? I don't know, I'm still here. Hello? Hello? Did you hit the subscribe button? Look, listen, I'm literally stuck here until you hit the subscribe button. Oh, stop. Yes, very soon. Listen, please hit the subscribe button. You did? You did hit it? Are you sure you hit it? Try it again. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. Please, please help me. It's not